The first one is House File 1896 by Representative Morrison. We've allocated about a half an hour of time for this. Representative Morrison, would you like to move that House File 1896 be laid over for possible inclusion in an omnibus bill?
Yes, I would, Mr. Chair.
Representative Morrison, to the bill.
Mr. Chair, members, thank you for the opportunity to present House File 1896. Minnesota is famous for its lakes. Our license plates proudly proclaim that we are the land of 10,000 lakes, even though we all know it's actually more than 11,000. We love them for fishing, for boating, for swimming, and for the simple contemplation of their beauty. They are a part of our heritage as Minnesotans. But the health of our lakes is threatened by the scourge of aquatic invasive species. The DNR currently lists 18 invasive aquatic animals, 10 invasive aquatic plants, and 10 invasive fish diseases. We are lucky to have the Aquatic Invasive Species Research Center at the University of Minnesota, whose mission is to develop research-based solutions that can reduce the impacts of AIS in Minnesota by preventing the spread, controlling populations, and managing ecosystems to advance knowledge to inspire action. This bill would create a stable funding source for the University of Minnesota AIS Research Center by creating an AIS research account as part of the statute that created the original account, by increasing the surcharge on Watercraft from $10.60 to $25. Of the $25, $21 will go to the AIS account, and $2 of that will go to grants to lake associations to manage AIS in their lakes. And $4 from each surcharge will go to the AIS research account for the University of Minnesota AIS Research Center. And Mr. Chair, I believe I have 3 testifiers today.
Mr. Chair, you're muted.
And the first testifier is Mr. Forrester, Executive Director of Minnesota Lakes and Rivers. If you could introduce yourself for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. I am Jeff Forster, Executive Director of Minnesota Lakes and Rivers Advocates. I want to thank Representative Kelly Morrison for bringing this bill forward. I know that during the off session and during last year's campaign, Representative Morrison reached out to a number of lake associations and other water-related organizations, and I'm grateful to her for bringing this bill forward as a solution and a reaction to what she heard during those discussions. I also want to acknowledge the very good work the Minnesota Aquatic Invasive Species Research Center, MACIRC, has done. The research they have been doing since 2014 is really starting to have significant on-the-ground applications. The new AIS Explorer tool will make our investments in inspection and decontamination services far more efficient and effective. Our collective investment in MACIRC pays greater dividends every year. House File 1896 is not controversial. We have widely promoted the idea of increasing the AIS surcharge on a 3-year boat license, with the proceeds to go to AIS research, DNR programming, and grants to lake associations trying to manage infested lakes. I would say that all of our members own at least 1 boat, most more than 1. I have not received 1 email or phone call in opposition, but many calls and emails in support. This bill is really an effort to finish the truncated legislative work of the 2019 session, when much of the final legislative language was assembled by a tribunal. If you remember, there was agreement that the need for AIS surcharge had increased dramatically since it was first set in the 1980s. Concerns about camps that own many boats were addressed. The tribunal process did not include many of the people who had been in the hearing rooms during these discussions, and the number of $10.60 was set, an awkward number for payees and insufficient to meet the needs of the funds. Not only do AIS continue to spread among lakes, resulting in more management expense, but in many lakes, the distribution of AIS is increasing from warmer weather, earlier ice out, later ice out, and less snow cover. Later ice in and less snow cover. The demand has risen even since 2019, and I want to thank Representative Morrison, the chair, and the committee for bringing this bill forward for discussion. Thank you for your time. I'll stay for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Forrester. Next up, Aldis Biersnicks, Guldak Association.
Mr. Chair and members of the committee, I am Aldis Biersnicks. I am on the board of directors and past president for the Gull Chain of Lakes Association, GCOLA for short. I'm also on the board of directors for Minnetonka, which is an umbrella organization for all lake associations in Minnesota. GCOLA is a lake association in the Brainerd Lakes area, and we have over 960 members that are lakeshore property owners and businesses. GCOLA and Minnetonka support the increase in the AIS surcharge on boat registration from the $10.60 to $25 per boat. The $25 when spread over 3 years amounts to about $8.33 per year per boater. For most boaters, that is much less than the cost of gasoline for one trip going to the lake and for the boat gas that is used. A very small price to pay for preventing the spread of AIS and for finding solutions to get rid of the AIS. Providing sustained funding for the MACER, Minnesota Aquatic Research Center, is one of GCOLA's top 3 legislative priorities. It also is a top legislative priority for Minnetonka. One of the talking points that we have for GCOLA to our local legislators for this is for providing the funding for the sustained funding for MACER is to increase the Watercraft AIS surcharge and include funding for MACER in that allocation. Bill HF1896 exactly does that. We understand that research to find solutions to eradicate or reduce the effects of zebra mussels, starry stonewort, and other AIS is a long-term battle. MACER needs sustained long-term funding to keep and attract research talent so the researchers do not have to worry on a year-to-year basis for continuing their projects. Grants come and go, and depending on them is not a good model for a research organization. The baseline funding in HF 1896 provides MACER with sustainability to work the AIS issues for the state of Minnesota. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next up, Dr. Nicholas Phelps, Director, Minnesota Aquatic Invasive Species Research Center, MACER.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Dr. Nick Phelps. I'm the director of the Minnesota Aquatic Invasive Species Research Center at the University of Minnesota. Good morning, Chair and members of the committee. And on behalf of our research teams, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to support this bill. There isn't a House district in Minnesota that doesn't have local managers and constituents struggling with the impacts of AIS on their lakes, rivers, and wetlands right now. Species like zebra mussels, invasive carp, and milfoil, and many more are fundamentally re-engineering our ecosystems and changing the way we use our water. In response, the state, LGUs, and individuals collectively spend millions to mitigate these impacts and prevent further spread every year. But the problem is simply not going away. We need new solutions, and I'd argue innovative ones that are built on sound science and long-term goals. The good news is we have an opportunity here, and this bill can help. Minnesota is a leader in the fight against AIS. We're recognized nationally. We have a responsive management at multiple levels and a highly engaged public. We also have MACER, the Minnesota Aquatic Invasive Species Research Center, a truly one-of-a-kind program. We work closely with managers to prioritize research needs. We bring together the world's best minds to create new ideas and tools. We translate that science into action across Minnesota. I don't have time now, but if anybody would like an update on our progress, never hesitate to reach out to me, and I'm happy to connect you with the researchers or fill you in myself. But a long story short, and as you've heard from the other testifiers, our research is being used in the real world, and it's improving outcomes on many fronts. We really have never been closer to meaningful solutions than we are right now, thanks to past state investments. But the reality is, without continued funding, we are going to be unable to continue promising lines of research or start new projects. This bill offers a creative solution to that problem and would provide the long-term, stable support our program needs. Given the ongoing and inevitable uncertainty probably with the LCCMR and state budgets, this funding source would allow us to envision strategies beyond short-term grant cycles and pursue game-changing solutions. I also think that the source of the funding makes sense. The science is clear that watercraft play a significant role in the spread of many AIS, and putting some of that responsibility on them seems reasonable to me. In addition, new research suggests that boaters are willing to pay more to address AIS problems. And you've heard that from the other testifiers. They care deeply about their lakes and are wanting to help. I really think this bill is a win-win for all involved and critically important to maintaining the momentum we have on the research front. Thank you again, Mr. Chair and Representative Morrison, for introducing this bill. Everyone else, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you. Members, do you have any questions? Representative Igo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess my question would be for the bill author. When I was just meeting with the DNR commissioners last week, we were talking a lot about these proposals, and I know the DNR's proposal is only to increase to $11. So I guess I'm just curious to where the jump from 11 to 25 came from, especially in a time of a pandemic when adding more fees and taxes to our constituents and citizens just doesn't seem like the best idea.
Representative Morrison.
Mr. Chair and Representative Igo, I had that same conversation with DNR, and they are concerned about the awkward fee that was referred to by the testifiers of $10.60. It just is a hard one to kind of do the books on. And at that point, a bill had not been introduced, but I have to believe that DNR would agree that managing aquatic invasive species is a priority for all Minnesotans.
Representative Igo.
Right. Okay. So like I said, my question was more though, they recommended increasing to 11 for helping with the bookkeeping. So I just want to know why we're talking about a 235% increase.
Representative Morrison.
Mr. Chair and Representative Igo, I don't believe that MACERC is in the DNR's budget.
Representative Igo.
In the DNR's budget proposal, they were talking about moving this fee from $11 or $10.60 to 11. I understand that you're trying to form another task force here, but that this just seems like a lot of money really quickly. That's all.
Representative Igo, the proposal 2 years ago was for $25. The compromise that was achieved at the end of the 2019 session was $10.60. That was not the House position. That was a compromise we had to reach. So what Representative Morrison is doing is the original proposal from 2 years ago, and the need is still there. And the $4 is not for a task force. It is for a research center that has been funded by grant money from the LCCMR for the last 6 years. And as we have seen, that money is now at risk. There is no reliability on the LCCMR because of the Republican Senate holding up that 2 bills now. So this is a way to get these researchers out of this political checkmate so that they would have consistent funding to provide work for all Minnesotans that is needed. Representative Tice.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I guess I would just like to say that I'm really disappointed that at this time when we're trying to get resorts and areas back to business because of, and I'm looking at resorts especially where folks are coming, and I'm looking at what they would maybe pay for taxes on their boats that they have to rent out. This is really steep. But also I look at myself and my family, and a lot of the families that we see on the lake that are kayaking, that's quite a steep, I mean, that's what a lot of money just for the tabs for the vehicles, which non-motorized, they can go anywhere. I get that part of it. We work hard with our AIS on our local lake association in Richmond, and I think it's a total of 14 lakes. But, here we are with this big, steep increase again when we're trying to get people to go out. And I know fishing and boating has been one of the things people have done but it's still, I'm looking at this going, wow, I was going to get a couple paddle boards this year. And I'm thinking, that's a lot of money. We also have to get some other things to go with it. And I'm just looking at people who aren't doing a lot of the big things, but can't afford to do the little things. And it's just, I'm sorry, it's just a lot of money, and it's just a hard thing to look at right now. I wish we could do it, when we feel like we've recovered a little bit more. However, I know AIS does not go away, but I do think that we can look at some of these and say, okay, this is what we need to do in a couple of years, push it out a little bit. I'm not even sure why we put tabs on paddle boards, but because it's a really hard thing to do. It's just really hard to see this. Let's let people recover a little bit, and then let's hit them up with this. I know AIS is a big deal. We work on it all the time at our lake, and it really is important that people probably join their lake association more so than it is raising tabs. And I wish there was a way that we could do that, because there's a lot of people on the lake. There's a lot of people that live out there, but they don't join these lake associations. And I wish they would, so that they could quit complaining about some of these things and have more input on what goes on the lake. And also being on LCCMR, I'd say there's a couple different philosophies of why the bills haven't gotten passed yet. And I wouldn't just necessarily blame the Republican senators. I don't think that's fair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Representative Morrison.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Representative Tice, I guess I would say that those of us who enjoy our lakes, and that is a huge percentage of Minnesotans, want to be able to continue to enjoy our lakes. And aquatic invasive species are a continued threat. And this is the kind of thing that only accelerates if we don't address it. And so those of us who want to use our lakes and want our children and our grandchildren to use our lakes, we have to step up and create funding so that the excellent work of MnSERC can continue to protect our lakes. And $8.33 a year to have the opportunity to do that doesn't seem like an excessive amount.
Representative Green.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the bill author, you're talking about $4 for the research. You're talking about how important the research is, but you're raising this considerably more than $4. Can you tell me how much money the state and on average puts into AIS research right now per year?
Representative Morrison, and I believe Commissioner Meyer is available as well. Representative Morrison.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Representative Green. I believe that there is funding to the tune of $375,000 a year, but I'll defer to the Assistant Commissioner.
Commissioner Meyer.
Mr. Chairman, members, for the record, Bob Meyer, Assistant Commissioner, Department of Natural Resources. First, we would like to thank Representative Morrison for bringing this bill forward again, and we really appreciate the discussion. As far as the fee that we requested versus the fee in this bill, the needs are great for aquatic invasive species management, as you've heard from the testifiers. We do support increasing this fee. We were trying to get it higher. Last time it was raised, it hasn't been raised for quite a while. And trying to find a permanent funding source for the research center is critically important as well. So, Mr. Chairman, just a little background on that. And then if you could just state the question specifically again for me.
Representative Green.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Myers, can you tell me how much we're spending from different accounts on AIS research right now every year?
Mr. Chair,
Meyer.
Representative Green, I cannot tell you the research components of that. There's a ton of different people doing a lot of different research on aquatic invasive species. I can certainly give you detailed information on where our funding goes. Some of that is grants to local lakeshore associations, and some of it is for our operational activities. In addition to that, there are funds that go to the counties based on a formula by the number of boat launches and parking spaces to help them directly combat aquatic invasive species, the battle we're fighting, right? So that's in the tax bill. And then this would be separately. I believe that's $10 million. Our fee generates, I can give you the specific number here in a second. And we talked about where these additional dollars were going.
Representative Green, I've got 4 more questioners if possible. So is that an answer to your question?
Actually, Mr. Chair, thank you, but it's not. I would like to hear from somebody from the university if they're around to let us know, because we put a ton of money into research right now. And
Dr. Phelps, could you answer the question on how much you receive?
Yes, I can, Mr. Chair. And Representative Green, Macer currently receives just about $1 million in the biennium from the environment budget as a direct appropriation. We also received in 2019 a $4 million grant from the LCCMR. We don't currently have funding beyond that grant, and it will expire in 2 years. So it's all committed and allocated right now. We don't have unallocated funds for new work.
Okay. If you have, Representative Green, if you have additional questions for Dr. Phelps, if you could do those offline. Representative Acom.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members, and thank you, Representative Morrison, for bringing this bill forward. As you stated in your introduction, our land of 10,000 plus lakes and hundreds of creeks and rivers are incredibly important resources to our cities and our state. And so I think when we look at this increase, it ends up being less than $5 a year per vehicle from what is there now, or per watercraft. And so I don't think that is too much to ask to invest in the health of our water systems. And so I just wanted to say thank you to Representative Morrison for bringing this forward. I think that we need to start protecting our waters. We're seeing that the aquatic invasive species are growing every year, and the water bodies that are infected every year are continuing to grow. So if we want to be able to have them for the future and for our kids and future generations, we need to protect them today, and we need to make investments for sustainable funding to ensure their health. And so I just wanted to say thank you to the representative for bringing the bill forward.
Thank you. Representative Jordan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm pretty shocked by some of the questions that we've heard. Things that are very expensive are boats. So for example, we all know that, you know, even a used motorboat costs thousands and thousands of dollars. But even quick Googling on kayak, like quick Google search of kayak costs, some of the cheaper ones are around $500, $300, $2,000. Paddle boats online, one of the cheaper ones is only around $300, $250, $1,000. So an increase of a few dollars, like Representative Acom just said, is not going to discourage people from buying boats. The cost of boats comes in the cost of boats, not the surcharge that's going to be used for AIS research. And so I also have a question for Dr. Phelps. I know that some work is being done to determine property value costs as a result of AIS. And I know that project's supposed to be done this year, but do you have any other findings on the effects that AIS have on property values? Maybe even Mr. Forrester might know what happens when a lake has a bad milfoil problem or zebra mussels and what that does to actual property values.
Mr. Forrester, and then Dr. Phelps.
Yes, thank you for the question, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. There's been a number of studies. One was from Mankato State some years ago that looked at water clarity, water quality versus a front foot value for lakeshore, and found that for every meter of water clarity, there was a corresponding increase in the value of the property. But a decrease of a meter or a loss of water quality caused an even greater decline. So with the relationship between lake health and property values, it's sort of an inverse. You lose value faster than you gain it by improving water quality. I know that on Lake Coronis, which was really impacted by starry stonewort, which is a particularly destructive AIS, some of the Lake Association people did a study of real estate with real estate agents and so forth, and found a decline in property values that they tried to pin a number on. And then the other piece of this, to the lake associations, I was really glad to hear people talking about the importance of lake associations. I mean, they're a key partner in this with MACERC, DNR, and lake associations. And we did a survey, Concordia College did a survey in 2017 that found that lake associations, and we have over 250 lake association members, collectively, they're spending $6.2 million on lake projects annually. And they're contributing 1.2 million volunteer hours. So if you look at what the value of that is worth, you know, doing many of it projects with MACERC, Starry Trek and Aquatic, invasive detectors programs, and volunteering at boat ramps and doing education and all of these things. And this increase would help fund a grant that the DNR had that was eliminated some years ago and then partially restored in 2019. And this would get it back up to the levels that it had once been at, which we're really grateful for, because, you know, you can leverage this revenue and really support the work that lake associations are doing. And, you know, there's over 550 lake associations in the state. As far as I know, that's more than any state in the union. So Minnesotans are engaged with lakes in a big way, and they're putting their money and their time, and this supports that effort.
Dr. Phelps, any research on property values for Representative Jordan?
Mr. Chair and Representative Jordan, we do have a project going on right now looking at property values specific to your Asian water milfoil. They're analyzing millions of sales records from across the state. It's likely going to be the largest such study ever done. The one-offs, and it's too early to share the results of that work, but the one-off more local focus studies that have been conducted have shown significant impacts to direct property values, and then also ecosystem services. Like the value of clean water to the public can be orders of magnitude more than the effect on the property itself. So, and of course, that all trickles down to local tax dollars, and there's ramifications beyond just the sale of a home that we're trying to understand.
Representative Jordan, if you've got a follow-up question, I've got to keep moving, so I'm going to go to Representative Heintzeman, but if you can follow up with Dr. Phelps or Mr. Forrester. Representative Heintzeman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative Morrison, I have a comment and then some questions. This comes back to the age-old question that we have debated since we created things like the LCCMR and we passed the Legacy Amendment. When Minnesotans voted for these things, in many cases, they expected this kind of work to be done. And here we are looking to raise fees and acting as though there's no money other than this pot, or this pocket is probably more accurately the way to put it. And it's just really frustrating. It's really frustrating when Minnesotans are calling and saying, you're raising taxes again. I thought we took care of this. You know, so my question is, as I'm reading the bill and I'm trying to figure out exactly how this is being charged, is there an exemption for nonprofits?
Representative Morrison.
Mr. Chair and Representative Heintzeman, that there is not an exemption written into this bill.
Mr. Chair.
Representative Heintzeman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You know, once again, we're right back at these folks that are, honestly, you could describe as doing the Lord's work. And in my own district, I have Camp Confidence. And they operate dozens and dozens of watercraft. And when you pass bills like this, you literally tell kids, you don't get to go to camp. Because the legislature decided that we're going to go ahead and we are going to exercise another tax on nonprofits. Not to mention the thousands and thousands of families Yeah, there are some folks that have plenty enough to buy the biggest and best and the nicest, but there's a whole lot, in fact, thousands of very, very frugal people that get out onto the lake with very inexpensive watercraft and so on. Give them a break. This is really, really crazy. The DNR is asking for an increase of 40 cents. And as Representative Igo pointed out, this is over a 200% increase. You know, and you're going to go ahead and apply that to nonprofits and tell kids, yeah, I'm sorry, you don't get to go to camp. I mean, for Pete's sakes, at least exempt those nonprofits that are out there operating on the funds generously donated to them by people that obviously can see the positive work that they're doing. In this case, you're taking that money right out of their pockets.
Representative Morrison.
Mr. Chair and Representative Heintzeman, always happy to have conversation and to talk about what makes the most sense. But unfortunately, boats are boats, and they are the watercraft are watercraft. They are the primary vectors of aquatic invasive species in our state. And so we have to find ways to make sure that kids across the state, whether they're there with their mom or their dad, or they're at a camp, are able to enjoy our lakes.
Members, we have to move on. This bill is being laid over. Representative Morrison, was that your closing comment?
Mr. Chair, we love our lakes in Minnesota, and it's our responsibility to care for them and protect them. Watercraft are the most significant vector of AIS, so it's natural to ask watercraft users to pay a small fee so that they and we all can continue to enjoy our beautiful lakes for generations to come. Thank you for the opportunity.
Representative Morrison renews her motion that House File 1896 be laid over for possible inclusion in an omnibus bill. The bill is laid over.